All right, let's get back at it. Uh, Sunday morning, about 9 a.m. West Coast time. Let's talk about J.D. Vance's trip to Greenland. First, it was just going to be his wife, Usha, going to Greenland. Uh, the advance team was going door to door to private residences in Greenland to find someone, some family, who would be welcome or who would be willing to welcome the Second Lady of the United States, the wife of the Vice President of the United States of America, into their home for like some type of warm, interaction for TV. They couldn't find anybody who was willing to do that. They couldn't find one single family in Greenland willing to do that. Greenland's like 55, 60,000 people, the entire population of the island. The population is the size of fucking Mansfield, Ohio. And they couldn't find one family. So then somehow J.D. Vance gets added to the trip. And they were going to go, like, as a couple and go watch some dog sled races. It was communicated to them that they would not be welcome at the dog sled races. So they scrapped that too. So then J.D. Vance and his wife and National Security Advisor Mike Waltz, who's in a little bit of hot water right now with the texting thing, they get on Air Force Two, they fly to Greenland, and they were there for 3 hours before coming back home. And what did they do during that 3 hours? They stayed within the confines of the United States military base, the Space Force base on Greenland. They didn't go outside the base. So they had to go to Greenland, and the only people who they interacted with were people from the United States. And J.D. Vance gave a speech ripping Denmark up one side and down the other, even though Denmark is spending more on their national defense than they're required to under the terms of NATO agreement. So they're an ally that's actually doing what Donald Trump has wanted all of the other NATO allies to do, spend what they're supposed to spend on their national defense. Denmark has exceeded that amount. And J.D. Vance gives a speech telling them that they're a shitty ally and that they're not taking good care of Greenland and that the people of Greenland are going to revolt. The people of Greenland, that the advance team couldn't find any of them to welcome Usha Vance into their home, and the population of Greenland who communicated to J.D. Vance and his wife, you're not welcome at our dog sled races. So we've pissed off Greenland. We've pissed off Denmark. We've still really, really, really pissed off the population of Canada. Amazing. It's like, how do you piss off Canada? I've come close a couple times when I've said I don't really understand hockey and I think it's boring as shit. But it's like soccer on ice, but that's another thing. Except there's no flopping. There's no flopping in hockey, and they have like, if you took like a European soccer player and put them on the ice in a hockey game where people actually get punched in the face, oh my God. So, the destruction of all of our relationships with all of our allies for the last 80 years continues. And it's like watching J.D. Vance's speech and then watching him like walk into a fucking military mess hall and not take off his hat inside a military mess hall. They learned that on day one, man. All those soldiers looking at him sideways like, who the fuck is this clown, man? He's wearing a hat. Uh, Amazing. It's just amazing. It's like every time J.D. Vance gets on camera, he does exactly the wrong thing and just embarrasses the shit out of this entire administration. And it's like, you think he's going to be the standard bearer in 2028? Give me a break, man. That guy can't get 300 people at his rallies. Amazing.